Hi, and welcome back to DIY series with Ifes Mikhail. Today, I'm going to be showing you how to successfully fill your USA DS-160 form to ensure that you avoid any issues that's going to warrant or lead to a visa refusal. I'm going to be showing you tips and tricks for areas that you have confusion with, provide clarity for you as well, just like I've done in my previous video in Belgium visa application form. So, if you love my video, if you love the content I create, like, share, don't forget to drop your comments, subscribe as well, and turn on the notification. So tips and tricks that is going to be very essential to avoid refusal. For example, making sure that you indicate every previous visa refusal, especially if you've had any refusal for the US visa application in the past. Non-declaration can lead to direct refusal. And again, ensuring that the social media handle that you provide on the DS-160 form is valid within the past 5 years and not a new entry that you just registered a few days ago. So stay tuned, don't go anywhere, and watch as I put you through the process.
So we are live right now on the US travel website. As you can see above here, it says US Travel Docs Nigeria, which means this is basically for those who intend to apply from Nigeria to travel to the US. Mind you, if you're a citizen or a national of another country resident in another country, it's still the same US travel website. You just need to navigate down to your country, and the DS-160 form is basically the same process as well. So this video is going to be very helpful for you. So now that we are here, you can see it says non-immigrant visas and immigrant visas, and the one we are concerned with is non-immigrant visas. What this means is if you are applying for a study visa, if you are applying for a visit visa as well, that this is going to be very helpful for you. So we scroll down and it says how to apply. You can see know your visa type. If you want to know your visa type, you just click on the drop down and follow the links that will direct you to know the kind of visa that you need. Complete your application form, pay your visa fee, schedule your appointment, attend your interview, and track your passport. Basically every information that you need. I'm going to be attaching the link to this website on this video. So look into the comments on the drop down on the caption. You should comfortably see the link where you can direct yourself to the website. So straight to the DS-160 form, I've clicked on the drop down to complete my application. So we're going to click on complete the non-immigrant visa electronic application DS-160 form. Be sure to read the guidelines for completing the DS-160 form carefully. All information must be correct and accurate. So once the form is submitted, you cannot make any changes. Please note that if you need assistance, please consult an immigration lawyer or translator. The call center would not be able to help you. Very important information. So you click on the non-immigrant visa electronic application form straight to the DS-160 form page. Here you just need to select the location where we're applying from. In this case is Nigeria, so we type Nigeria, find it. You can choose Nigeria Abuja or Nigeria Lagos because they accept applications from either location. So we're going to selecting Nigeria Lagos. Then we insert the one-time code to be sure that you are a human and not a robot, and click on start application. So here they have the retrieve an application. If you already have an existing application, you can come back here and retrieve your application ID. So we do not have that, so we click on start an application. Now it says Computer Fraud and Abuse Act. You need to read the Computer Fraud and Abuse Act and click on agree, so you're sure that that you're not constituting any form of nuisance. Here we have a new application ID generated for us, so I would advise you copy it or print it out for safekeeping, because that is what you're going to use to come back to this application. Department of State, United States, you've seen your unique application ID that you also need when you're scheduling your appointment. So you need to drop what is the given name of your mother's mother. In this case, whatever name you can recall. For the purpose of this application, we choose my mother's name as Chibueze. This is what you would use to retrieve your application anytime you come back to this website. So you click on continue, and voila, the page form has completely opened. Now you start to insert your information, your son name, insert your son name, insert your given name, and if you have multiple given names, in my case, yes, you insert that as well. Full name in native alphabet. If your computer permits that, you can do that as well, but if it doesn't, there's no need. You click on does not apply to you. because our alphabet, native alphabet, is still English language alphabet that we use. So except maybe you are Arabic person and you have a different kind of alphabet that you use. Have you used other names, maiden names, religious name, professional, alias? Have you been known by multiple names in the past on your national identification card? You need to indicate that information. This is most important, especially for those who have been married and they had a previous maiden name that they were using. You need to declare that information and provide proper documentation to show why you have a different name. So in this case, we're going to be selecting no, because no previous names have been used. Do you have a telecode that represents your name? So if you have any telecode that represents your name, you click on yes. If you don't have a telecode, which is usually not applicable to any of us here in Nigeria, you select no. So for your sex, you select your sex, male or female. Marital status, if you're married, please select your marital status as it applies to you. Common law marriage, as the case may be, whatever it is. In this case, it's a single male. Select your date of birth. You can select a random date here. Just put so your city of birth as well. Where were you born? If you were born in what state you were born in, select the state as well. Country or region where you were born as well. In this case, it's Nigeria. If you were born in another country, you provide information as well. Then click on save. Once you've clicked on save, it comes to this area and lets you know that okay, this information has been saved to the application ID, and now you can comfortably exit this application and come back to it at a later time, because now you've provided information on personal one here. If you don't provide information on personal one and you log out, you would have to start all over from beginning. But once you've provided your information on personal one and you click on save and it shows you this dashboard here, then you know that you can always retrieve your application by using this application ID, inserting your date of birth, and also inserting your mother's name. So we click on continue application, so we can go to personal 2, scroll down, click on next. Personal 2, you need to provide your country of nationality. If you have another nationality, you put that there as well. Do you hold or have you held any nationality other than the one indicated above on this nationality? If you have dual citizenship, of course you provide that information here. Click on yes, provide information about your other citizenship as well. So in this case, it is no. Are you a permanent resident of another country? This is increasingly applicable to a lot of Nigerians. They are residents of multiple other countries besides Nigeria. If you're a Ghanaian, if you're a Kenyan as well, and you're a resident of another country, you need to provide that information as well. But for the purpose of this application, the answer is no. Do you have a national identification number? If you have a national identification number, you need to provide it as your government has issued to you. So you provide your national identity number. So this is just the dummy number that is being used here. Your US social security number, if you have one, if you've been to the US before. Mind you, this form we're filling is non-immigrant for those who intend to travel to the US as a visitor, and it's the same thing basically if you want to travel to the US to study. So you can comfortably use the same information that we're using to fill here to also fill yours. Just do the changes necessary as is applicable to you. US taxpayer ID number does not apply to you because you're not a resident, and this is a non-immigrant application. You don't have a social security number, you don't have a taxpayer number, you only have your national identification number from your own home country. So you click on next to travel. I recommend you save each step so you don't lose all the information you've provided when you're handling your application. So now provide the following information: your purpose of your trip to the US. Remember, this form we're filling is solely for the purpose of visit. If you're going, so when you click on this drop down, if you're going for study, if you go, you look for the F1 visa and you select it here. So academic or language student. but we're going for temporary business pleasure visits, which is B. Most people are probably already aware it's called B1, B2. So if you're going as a temporary visitor for business and tourism, you want to select B1, B2. If you're going for business and conference only, then you select B1. If you're going for medical treatment, select B2. So if you're going for business and tourism conference, you're going to see a visit family, I recommend you select your B1, B2, which is the common one, and that's that. Have you made specific travel plans? Please always choose yes, don't say no, because that shows that you are well organized and you have your travel details well planned out. So you need to provide information about when you intend to arrive the US and when you intend to depart to US, the flights, and all of those information. So in this case, let's say, oh, I intend to arrive the US in August. So we put 10 August 2024. Arrival flights, let's use Delta Airlines. Arrival city, we can choose Atlanta. Departure from the US, let's say, depending on duration of your travel, if you want to stay for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, you indicate that. Remind you, you need to ensure that your flight reservation corresponds with what you are also filling on the form here. So if we say, okay, it's a visit for about 10 days, so arrive on the 10th, depart on the 20th of the same August 2024. Then departure flight DL. What does the DL mean? This is Delta Airlines 055 for arrival and Delta Airlines 054. Depending on the flight you used on your reservation or you intend to go with, if it's Qatar Airlines, if it's Turkish Airlines, you need to know your flight number, please. Very important, because that's the information you are providing here and also here. The flight that arrives into the US is what you're concerned with, and the flight that leaves the US with you on it. You need to have both numbers. Is usually on your reservation, and you put that information here. Departure city is the same city of arrival, Atlanta. Provide locations you plan to visit in the US. In this case, let's say we're going to visit the city of Atlanta as well, so we put that information there. Address line where you want to stay in the US. So in this case, we can say, okay, place that the person intends to stay. You need to know where you're going to stay. If you have a hotel reservation all booked for you, please look at the hotel information, the address of the hotel, and replicate the location of the hotel here. So if we say Fort Saleva Hotel, for example, Fort Saleva Hotel in Atlanta, Georgia, to Kissington Drive. So Atlanta, and you select Georgia, Atlanta, Georgia. And select the zip code. Person paying for your entity now. Mind you, these are all random information. You want to find out the zip code of the hotel where you're staying. This is a dummy hotel, just a randomly manifested hotel. So if you're staying at a hotel, if you're staying with a family, you want to provide that information here as well, the address of where you'll be staying throughout your visit in the US. So here, person paying for your trip, if you're going to be paying for your trip, if you have family paying for your trip, if you're going with a group, someone paying for you, you provide that information here, and you click on the drop down. You have paying by myself, paying for other person paying for me, present employer is paying for me, employer in the US, other company, whichever case applies to you. But let's assume you're going on a solo trip and payment is done by self. So save, continue application. Next, to travel companions. Persons traveling with you. Are there other persons traveling with you? If you're traveling as a group, please select yes. Then it's going to ask you, are you traveling as part of a group or organization? Yes as well. Then you provide the information of the group and as it is. But in this case, No, nobody's traveling with me, so traveling on my own. Move on to the next, previous US travel. Now this is very important area. Have you ever been in the US before? No. Have you ever been issued a US visa before? No. Have you ever been refused a US visa? Please, if you have been refused a US visa in the past, clearly provide that information truthfully. It's very important, because if you falsify an information on your DS-160 form that can be retrieved at any point of time, even at the port of entry, your DS-160 form can be retrieved. It is reason for you to be dismissed, and also for you to be removed from the country. So in this case, the answer is no. Has anyone ever filed an immigrant petition on your behalf? If someone has filed an immigrant petition for you on your behalf for citizenship into the US, in any case, in any way, maybe for residency, temporary work permit, or permanent work permit, green card, please always provide credible information. Here it's no. So address and phone number. So provide your home address here. In this case, provide it as 25 Allen Avenue, Ikeja, Lagos, postal code 282, country is Nigeria, mailing address. So this is my home address I've provided here, a dummy address I've used to provide. You want to replicate the same for yourself. Mailing address, is your mailing address the same as your home address? You need to indicate yes if you receive the mails at your home address as well. So provide your phone number. If you have multiple phone numbers, you provide it as secondary phone number, work phone number. So here we've provided phone number as well, primary phone number. If you have 2 phone numbers, 3 phone numbers, you can fill this information here. Have you used any other phone numbers in the last 5 years? If so, please provide them as well. In this case, no. If you have an email address, you also want to provide your email address. ifesolutions.com. Have you used any other email address in the last 5 years? No. Do you have a social media presence? This is important. Like I said earlier, your social media information must have been valid. The account must have been valid for at least 5 years. So please, if you're providing, don't go and provide an account that you just created last year or 2 years ago and submit it here. That account should have been valid for at least 5 years. It says here, select from the list below each social media platform you have used within the last 5 years. So activities on the account as well, to show that you are actively using the social media account in the past 5 years. This is not some account that you created and there's no activity on it. You need to make sure that everything tallied. Do not provide your password, you just provide your username. So let's choose, in this case, Instagram, and provide it here as Face Mikhail. Add another one. YouTube. You can add as many as possible, as many social media accounts you have. So let's just say, okay, do you wish to provide any other information about your presence on any other website? Maybe you're in company website, you're on an alumni website, you feel like you want to share that information as well, you can do that here. So if it applies to you, in this case it doesn't, so no. So we go on to passport information. Select one. Regular, they have different types of passports here. If we have regular, official, diplomatic, laissez-passer, and others. So the normal citizens, normal people have what they call regular passports. If you're not a normal citizen and you're applying for yourself or for somebody that is a family, you can select official if you're not regular person, but regular passport is what the average individual has out there, so we'll be selecting regular. Provide your passport information. 1 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 7 8 as passport document number. If you check your passport data page, international passports, you will find the passport travel document number there. That is the number you're replicating here. It is on your data page of your international passport. It's a unique ID number, so that is what you're putting. The passport booklet number as well is what you put here. So booklets have 32 pages, some have 64 pages. So in this case, I know mine has 64 pages, so I put 64 pages here. If you have 32 pages, you put 32 pages. Country that issued your passport is in this case is Nigeria. Where passport was issued, if your passport was issued in Lagos, you put Lagos, Lagos as well. But here, some people, even in the Lagos, it's usually Ikoyi Lagos, Ikoyi Lagos passport office that issued it, or Festac Lagos, or Ikeja Lagos. You just provide it as it's written clearly on your international passport data page. This information is on your data page, so you just need to provide it there. Now that that's done, country and region is Nigeria. Date of issuance, let's select date of issuance as January 2nd 2024, and date of expiry as 2034. 10 years later, same January 1st. So yes, have you ever lost a passport or had one stolen? If you have lost a passport before, I'm sure you're probably going to have a police declaration to that purpose. So anyways, you need to state the status of your previous application if you had one and it was lost or stolen. So in this case, no. So we go to US contacts now, which is the next page that we're going to. Says contact information of persons in the United States. So do you have somebody inviting you? Do you have an organization inviting you? Do you have a friend or a family inviting you? They can be used here. If you do not have anybody, you just put the hotel contact. So you can put the hotel contact here as Forza Leva Hotel, and put a contact person at the hotel. Let's say John Hopkins. Okay, let's have it as Hopkins John as our contact in the US. Relationship to you, just others, because he's the hotel rep. So now you're going to be asked to provide the address and information of the hotel. So you just replicate the same thing we had done for the same information about the hotel earlier. For Leva Hotel, number 2 Kissington Drive, Atlanta, Georgia, state code 23456, phone number +1 402797. Email address is, let's just say, admin@fortsalevahotel.com. So now let's go over this. As you can see clearly, I've provided the information of the hotel here as the contact person because we're going for tourism, and we just intend to go around and visit and tour the US. Now if you're going for a conference, you want to provide the organizational name here of the host party that you'll be attending, and who is the contact person or the host contact person that the US government can reach out to, and the address of the host event as well. So those are the information you can provide. If you're going to visit your family, still the same, under the same business visit visa, then you provide the contact details of your family friend or your family relative here. Insert the name. You don't need to provide, you just put do not know here. Since it's a family you're going to visit, you don't need to provide any name for organization. put relationship to you. As you can see clearly, they had relative, they have different drop downs there for you to put relationship to you. Then provide their home address, their contact information, the phone number and the email as well. Then click on save and move on next to the other page. So next is family information. This is very important. So father's full name here in this case is Yefule Chibueze to February 1940. Is your father in the US? No. Now this is your family's information, your father and your mother. In this case, let's do the same thing. Is Yefule Mary, but to February 1950. So now in this case, I've just provided information. These are not names of my parents, but basically just random names using my son name. If it's you, you don't need to provide information about your son name and also your name, the name of your father, and in this case here the name of your mother. Provide their date of birth as well individually. Then indicate if they are already in the US. That's even why you intend to travel. If they are not in the US, then you select no. Do you have any immediate relatives, not including parents, in the United States? Please, if you have any immediate relative in the US, maybe cousin, first cousins, siblings, family that's that your immediate relatives. As you can see, it clearly states here that this relates to. So if you have any immediate relatives in the US, you need to indicate that information. As you can see, the help drop down says who are your immediate relatives: your fiance, your spouse, your child, or your sibling, brother and sister, or even your father or your mother. That information has already been provided here when they asked whether they are in the US. In this case, it is no. So we go to work, education and training. Do you have any other relatives in the US? No. So here you're going to provide information about your work. In this case, what's your primary occupation? Maybe let's say, are you an engineer? Are you a medical practitioner? Whatever. Are you in the military? You need to select it. So let's just select engineering here. Present employer, FA Solutions. You insert information about your employer. Put the details of your employer's address as well. And provide your employer's details, contact details as well. As you can see, I've selected my primary occupation here as an engineer, saying primary occupation is in engineering. From the drop down there was a list, selected the details of my employer, then provided the information about my employer's address and my employer's contact number as well. Going down, you have to provide information as when you started working here. So let's say, okay, I've been working here from the inception of so we're going to say, let's just use a date here from when your employer gave you an offer. So Insert your monthly income in local currency. If your local income is, let's just put 500,000, and briefly describe your details of what you do. So the duties, you have to describe it. Let's say, okay, I am a software engineer. I provide software technical services for my organization. I am also a team manager with at least 25 technical engineers under my management. So you can provide an extensive information on what you do, what your duties are here, then click on save and move on to the next place, which is going to be investigating things about your previous employment. So if you were previously employed, you select yes. Let's see, if taking previous employment before your current position, you need to select yes, then provide details about your previous employer as well. So you're going to provide information about your previous employer just like you did with your current employer. Job title, supervisor's name, supervisor's given name, all of that. You describe your duties again. So in this case we say no, so we don't have to provide all that information again. Have you attended any educational institution at secondary level or above? Please always provide information if you've attended institutions at secondary level or above. Here we select it yes and wait for the drop down. So provide information about your institution. Say okay, I attended Madonna University. Provide the street and address of your school, the city, all the information about your institution basically. Enugu 400 100. Course of study chemical engineering. Date of ascendance, let's just select a random day here. 2010 2014. Let's see, 2012 28 2017. Okay, so here you can see that you are required to provide information about your previous educational study. You're going to insert your school here, your university if you went to university, if you went to a polytechnic, depending on which is applicable to you. Went to a federal college, you insert the information about your school, provide your school's address and the postal code, and also the course of study and period of study from when to when. And once you're done with that, you click on next as well to move on to the next stage. So additional information, do you belong to a clan or a tribe? If you belong to a clan or a tribe, please select yes. Most people in Africa do belong to a clan or tribe. So, and our clan or tribe is, for my own case, is Igbo clan. Yeah, some people are Yoruba clan, some are the Hausa, some are BBO, depending on which of them is applicable to you. So you just select the information. Provide list of languages you speak. In my case, English. If you speak English language, please always select English language if you do. If you speak French as well, you also select it. I speak just English language and Igbo. If you're trilingual, of course, feel free to provide more information by clicking add another. Have you traveled to any countries or region within the last 5 years? If you have traveled, this is the opportunity for you to clearly show your previous travel history. So in my case it is yes. Then you start to list the regions you've traveled to. I traveled to Belgium. Click on add another. I also traveled to Singapore. I've been to the United Arab Emirates. I've been to Tunisia. I've been to Ghana. I've been to Rwanda. And I've also been to Benin Republic. Now, as you can see, this is an opportunity to show the visa officer that okay, you are well traveled, or you've traveled and you have international travel experience, which will help boost your prospect of also securing a visa. I could not list everything, but just listed as much as I can. If your travel is exhaustive as well, then or non-exhaustive, just pick a couple of countries and list. At the end of the day, you'll be interviewed and you can provide more information about that. But I recommend that you provide as much countries as possible that you have visited and insert them then. And if you've not even visited any country, that shouldn't be much of an issue as well. Have you belonged to or contributed to or worked for any professional or social charitable organization? I have a couple that I'm a member of, but in this case I'll just provide one so we don't exhaust our time here. In this case, Rotary Club International. So if you're a member of the Rotary Club, you're a member of a social club or a charity organization, outreach programs that you work with, social organization, professional bodies as well, like Nigerian Society of Chemical Engineers, all of those information as well, you can provide them here, because it's very important that you provide as much information that can help the visa officer to make a decision on your application. Do you have any special skills or training such as firearms, explosive, or chemical experience? If you do, you need to indicate it. Please read everything step by step. If you are in the military, you need to provide it as well. Have you ever served as well in the military? You need to provide that information. So in this case, it's all no, no, and no. Then we click on save. Continue application, so we can go straight to the background and security questions here. Click on next. Here is basically going to be asking you security questions, a lot of security questions that you need to answer very correctly. Here you need to take your time and read so that you know which of them is applicable to you. Do you have communicable diseases? If you do, select yes. Do you have any mental or physical disorder? If you do, you select yes as well. But in this case, it is no for me. Have you been a drug user? If you have been, you select yes. In this case, I select no because it's not applicable to me. So, and that's how it goes on and on with all the security questions. Have you ever been arrested or convicted? Have you ever violated or engaged in a conspiracy to violate? Are you coming to the United States to engage in prostitution or unlawful commercialized vices? Please take your time to read all these questions and tick appropriately as it pertains to you. Have you ever been involved in money laundering? Have you ever committed or conspired to commit trafficking? Have you ever knowingly abetted or colluded with an individual who has committed human trafficking? Are you the spouse or son or daughter of someone who has committed human trafficking? As you can see, this is a very, very serious issue with them, because they need to be sure the kind of persons that they are admitting into their country. So you want to provide as much credible information as possible, in fact beyond 100%. Do you seek to engage in espionage or exploit or control violations? All of these are security questions. Are you seeking to engage in terrorist activities? Have you ever or intend to provide financial assistance or support to terrorists? Are you a member of a terrorist organization? Just go on and on about the security questions as they apply to you. They are all exhaustive, and you read them one by one, and when you're done, still continues like that. Have you ever sought to obtain visa or any other by fraud? This is important because a lot of people probably have gone through fraudulent means by trying to obtain US visa. Please, if you have been flagged, and you're reapplying, make sure that you provide credible information as to what your previous circumstances were. So Have you ever been removed or deported from any country? If you have been removed or deported from any country, please say yes. So in this case, we move to the next. Have you ever withheld custody of a U.S. citizen outside the U.S.? Have you voted in the U.S. in violation of any law regulation? You know, it's illegal for a visitor to be voting. So if you've ever done that, the system will know. So if you think you're in denial, you want to avoid that information, well. So have you ever renounced your U.S. citizenship for the purpose of avoiding taxation? So all of that, and we are done with all the form filling, and the next stage is to upload your photo. So you come to upload your photo here. Next. So this is the upload photo. Now we're done with the entire form. You just need to click on upload your photo, which is going to have your white background. Click on it here. Then choose the file you intend to upload. So let me just choose a random photo here and see if it will agree to upload. Once you've uploaded it, as you can see, it shows the photo has been attached. So you just click on next to see if it is accepted. Okay, photo passed quality standards, and there you have it. We have passed the selection of the photo. When you click on continue using photo, since photo has been uploaded, continue using photo. You click on next to review, and now on the review you get to see all the information you've provided, and you can edit accordingly as well. So you can see we are done with the DS-160 form process. All you just need to do is to click on submit now. Here you see every single information that we have provided is the review. You click on next. The same thing for here, and that brings us to the end of our DS-160 form. So these are all the information, family information, US contact. You can even click here as well. If you wish to come back, you can click on all of this to review what you've done. Take your time to review what you've done, because once it is submitted, it's submitted. I'm just trying to take us straight to the place where, as you can see, this is all about the work, the information we provided. You can even print this page by clicking on print here and keep information for yourself. Next, security and background, and you can see security information. No, because none of them applies to me. So the next is to select your location. You can see location is Lagos and Nigeria. Then next is to sign and submit. Then to sign and submit, we are here. You select, did anyone assist you in filling your application? Yes or no, as it applies to you. In this case, no. I certify that I receive US fact sheets. Click on the agreement. Did anyone then insert your passport number and enter the code, then sign and submit. Once you click on sign and submit, that spells the end of your form filling. All you just need to do then is to pick up the DS-160 code here, take it and use it to apply for your appointment. The appointment process is also different. If you want me to do a video for how you can do your appointments, schedule your appointments, I could go ahead to see how I can work around that. But this is what we have now for the DS-160 form. I hope this was very educative to you, and if you have any information, don't forget to drop in the comments. I have dropped links for you to be able to access this portal directly.